Hey guys, and welcome back to yet another episode of Planet Coaster. So in the last episode, we have finally begun putting down all the buildings into place. So we have created this nice little port on one side, and on the other side of these buildings, we have a little market square, like a little courtyard over here. So I've added a couple more buildings while I wasn't recording. So I added this building, and I liked this bit right here. I just like how all the wood is holding back all the vegetation. We have a little clock, which is quite nice. And then we have more of a prison looking building. As you can see, all the windows have iron bars in them. You've got skeletons hanging from the walls, so it's kind of appropriate. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna finish off this city right here, and then I think we can start on making our fort. So what I wanted is to build a tiny little outpost, a tiny little port on this side, which is gonna serve like kind of the entrance to the pirate area, which hopefully is going to look quite nice. If not, we can always tell our grandchildren that we've tried. You know what? We've tried so hard, we got so far, but as you guys probably already know, but in the end, it just doesn't really matter, does it now? Right, so we're gonna place one here. We're gonna put the prison... Hold on a second. We gotta rotate it first of all, just like that. And there's gonna be obviously like a little path going on this way. So now, it's just gonna be the case of pasting all the buildings where I want them to go. So we're gonna have another one of these. So if I click on my blueprints... Oh my god, this is gonna be great. Like, pasting the blueprints, I'm just already kind of happy about this. Wait, did I really just select the same one twice? I'm kind of silly. I apologize. I apologize in advance. Right, so we gotta bring this one down. How does that look? Does that look very good? Yes, and look. And I think we actually... What I gotta do here is just delete a couple of those because it just didn't look very well. And this one, let's just like move it into position. There you go. Just like that, we can have like another little path that's gonna come around here, and basically it's gonna be like a little dead end, but it's gonna be cool regardless. So that's just fine, just making sure that the buildings aren't clipping each other, because that would be the absolute worst. If like my buildings all of a sudden were just like clipping each other, yep, that would not work very well. Because that one, it's floating for some reason. We gotta bring it down a little bit, but I don't think that should be too much of a problem. Actually, let's try, let's say, this house right here. I feel like this one should be right on this side. So then we can block out the back right there, because no one really is going to care about the back. Just like that. So now what I can do is quickly go edit this building. But hold on a second, is it floating? Please don't tell me it's floating, because that's going to be very embarrassing if I made it float. I think it actually is. Are you kidding me? Hold on a second. Let me just delete that. Let's go into my blueprints again. See, I'm just trying to see if maybe a different house is gonna work slightly better. So I'm gonna bring it down. This is what it should look like. Then we're gonna rotate it into place. Is this still floating? No, this isn't gonna float. So let's just make sure we get as much space as possible without making it like too crammed. Like that fishing net, don't really care about that. That boat, it's gotta go. It's gotta go because it's basically clipping through this tower, which is not what we wanted. There you go. And look at that, it's already taking shape. I like this. I like this port town so much. Another building. Let's add another one right here. So I'm just gonna use this one because I think this one is gonna fit quite nicely. So I'm just gonna put it on this side, bring it down a little bit. Hold on a second, because I gotta make sure it doesn't float again. And that should be just fine. There you go. And then we're gonna add this at the end right here. So I don't think it's like clipping or anything. Here we go. There you go. Fantastic. Do we have to do any sort of editing? I feel like we gotta do a little bit over here. So I'm just gonna like move this over. So what I'm gonna do is simply just move this over here so it looks more believable. And then we can press done here. And I think... Look, that's another street down. So fast as well. Like, you can build buildings incredibly fast if you have like a few ready. And this genuinely looks like a proper town. Especially after we do like paths and everything. Oh, it's gonna look brilliant. we have a tiny little town over here, which already looks pretty goddamn cool. So now, all I gotta do is paint some of these roads. So we're just gonna have technically like 2, maybe 3 main roads over here, because the rest of the buildings back here are just for decorational purposes. So we don't really care about them that much. So all I gotta do now is just fill these up, paint nice terrain and everything, and we should be actually close to being finished with our pirate city, and then we can start working on the outpost, which is going to be amazing. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and start painting all the paths for you guys, because I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me just like talk about painting paths, because I mean, there's only very little you can say about that, surprisingly. Like this is getting slightly too intense for the engine, because my game did actually end up crashing, but hopefully we can continue. Hopefully we can continue without many hiccups over here, because it seems like everything should be fixed right now. So let's add a few more palm trees here and there, because I feel like we need plenty of those just to cover up all the empty space. They're gonna be growing like right next to each other, and they're gonna look all fantastic. Hopefully they're all gonna look fantastic. And I don't know what to do for the outskirts. I don't know how to divide it exactly. Maybe we will do some sort of a hill. I don't know. I know I kind of did say that in this episode we're gonna start on making the whole kind of fort that I told you about. I feel like we're gonna dedicate that to the next episode, simply because I might actually run out of time, because I don't want to rush it, if I'm completely honest with you. I want to take my time with the fort as much as I possibly can. So you know what, let's add a few more palm trees in between here, just squeeze as many of them in as I possibly can. I don't know, that kind of looks too jam-packed. Palm trees don't look like the sorts of trees that would grow like next to each other in large quantities. I mean, you do see them kind of growing like that at the beach in hot countries, but you know what, I don't know. It's just that region where I placed them all together like that, they just looked a little bit weird. It could have been the fact that I placed them in a kind of like a similar way right next to each other, and as you guys can see, we have a lot of visitors. We have a lot of visitors trying to come in, and oh my god, can I just say this looks amazing? This absolutely looks amazing right now. I love it. So how about we take the terrain tool and we start raising it up a little bit, and maybe we'll be able to make some sort of hills over here. So if I were to increase the size and intensity, and let's just like start raising it up, and we're gonna create like a nice little hill, which we're gonna then like divide the rest. So this is gonna be our division line, so I'm not gonna go like super crazy making sure, yep, this hill looks realistic. So we're just gonna go for something that's gonna divide this from the rest of the park, and then we're gonna have enough space for the port that's gonna go right there, the little fortification, and this is where the hills are gonna come to. And then we're gonna have maybe some sort of a forest on this hill that's gonna divide it from the rest of the park. I don't know yet. We're gonna decide. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments down below. Ooh, I do like these rock formations that I'm slowly beginning to form. It actually looks kind of cool. Like the little overhangs. It looks a little bit more sci-fi than I would have hoped. But you know what? It's gonna be fine. It's gonna look just fine. Oh, I do like the roughen tool. I don't know. It just makes it look much nicer and more randomized. Because right now it just looked way too smooth. So with the roughen tool, as you see, yeah, sure, they look fairly rough right now. But you know what? Once we start putting trees and everything on here, I think it's gonna look actually quite nice. once we get this thing finished. And I don't know if I want to have some sort of like a path going in here. Hold on a second. I wonder how this would look. If I would take a path, right? We're gonna go for, I think, this one right here. So let's bring down the width of it a little bit. And angle snap, length, angle snap. We're not gonna do like any sort of angle snap or anything. But we're just gonna have like a little path. It's gonna go in here. Hold on. Let's make this not as long. There you go. The only thing I'm worried about, how am I gonna... Because we've got like our little tunnel over here, but the fountain is somewhat in the way. Unless... Hold on a second. We increase the width for it over here, so people will be able to kind of like walk around it, if you know what I mean. And then it's gonna somehow not go as wide anymore. So we're gonna bring it back down again. So they're gonna come through here. Huh. That's interesting. I mean, I don't know where this is going, and I don't know, they would have to kind of like turn back. But at least there's a path going this way now. And look, we can even connect it to one of the shops here as well, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm connected to the other one. It doesn't look the best, but you know what it's gonna do. At least we're gonna have people coming in this direction. So we're gonna have another one that's gonna go in here, just kind of like weave in and out. And it's gonna go right about here. So we're gonna have another one of those right there. And we're gonna maybe just leave it like that. So are people gonna start coming down this path now? Or are they not gonna go past the hospital? I have a feeling they're not gonna go past the hospital. And what the fuck, guys? Can you put all of your rubbish in the bin? Oh, you did. It's just like the bins are completely full right now. That is not good. But I'm just glad that we have a path going on right now. Right, so let's add a few trees over here, and I think we might be able to call this episode finished. Alright guys, so I think there you have it. This is something that I'm actually fairly happy with. I mean, we've got a good looking city, we've got a few unique districts. As you can see, there's some sort of a festival going on over here. Maybe some sort of like an archery tournament. Who the hell knows? You've got like this other little town square, you've got the port. We obviously still have to do this side, but I don't think that should be too much of a problem. And then in the next episode, what I think we should do is get the start on the fort. And I think we can incorporate the roller coaster into the fort, which would be a pretty good idea, because then we can have it basically just like running straight through here. Maybe it's gonna just like loop around, come underneath here, which would be kind of cool. But anyway guys, I do hope you enjoyed another episode of Planet Coaster. And if you did, make sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys are gonna have a wonderful day. Now, see you next time. Take care, goodbye. Bye-bye, bye-bye.